Hello everyone, how are you all? I, Manmohan Joshi, welcome you on Kautilya Academy online lecture series. And today we are taking up a very interesting topic from 10th unit of MPPSC pre-syllabus. The topic today I am going to teach you is National Human Rights Commission. Let's start the topic. Actually, this particular commission comes from Human Rights Protection of Human Rights Act 1993, and this very law was enforced on 8th of January 1994. You must remember the name of the act and the date of enforcement, because sometimes they ask in the examination that National Human Rights Commission is constituted by which particular law or which act. The name of the law is Protection of Human Rights Act 1993. So let's see what human rights means. So human rights, the term is defined in section 2 of particular act. It says that human rights means the rights relating to life, liberty, equality and dignity of the individual, and which is guaranteed by the Constitution of India. Guaranteed by the Constitution of India, this phrase says that every fundamental right is a human right. So what I said to you is, human rights means the rights relating to life, liberty, equality and dignity of the individual guaranteed by the Constitution of India or embodied in the international covenants, must underline this term, international covenants, and enforceable by courts in India. So these rights are known as human rights. International covenant, this particular term is also defined in Protection of Human Rights Act in section 2(1)(f). So before jumping into the next particular slide, let me tell you what international covenant means. So the particular act defines international covenant as the international covenant on civil and political rights and the International Covenant on Economic, Social and Cultural Rights adopted by the General Assembly of United Nations on the 16th of December 1966, and such other covenant or covenant convention adopted by General Assembly of the United Nations at the central government may by notification specify. So you have to remember that the particular covenant which was adopted by United Nations on 16th of December 1966, and that particular covenant was related to political rights and civil rights. So that particular covenant, the rights provided under that particular covenant of 1966 are also known as human rights. So to protect this particular right, the law provides National Human Rights Commission, in short, which is known as NHRC. NHRC, the constitution of NHRC and each and everything related to NHRC, we find particular topic in chapter 2 of the the Protection of Human Rights Act 1993. So chapter 2 consists of section 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 and 11. Among these all sections, section 3 is very important, which provides constitution of National Human Rights Commission. So section 3 provides constitution of a National Human Rights Commission. This section says that the NHRC will be established by central government. You should note down all these things. These are the questions which is asked in the examination generally. So central government is going to establish National Human Rights Commission, NHRC. Commission shall consist of, number 1, a chairperson, one chairperson, and the chairperson must be a person who has been Chief Justice of the Supreme Court of India or Judge of the Supreme Court. Remember this, has been, this terminology or this phrase says that the person must be a retired one. A sitting justice cannot be the chairperson of NHRC. Now, how many members will be there in NHRC? So NHRC consists of 12 members after 2019 amendment. So, who will be the members? So, number one member who is or has been judge of the Supreme Court, one member who is or has been the Chief Justice of any High Court, 3 members to be appointed from amongst persons having knowledge of or practical experience in matters relating to human rights. So, you must remember that out of these 3, one post is reserved for a woman. So, out of these 3 members, one person must be a woman, as the section says that 3 members out of which at least one shall be a woman to be appointed from amongst the persons who having knowledge of or practical experience in matters related to human rights. 7 members, let me 7 members will be ex officio from various commissions. So, various commissions means the National Commission for Backward Class, the National Commission for Minorities, the National Commission for Protection of Child Rights, the National Commission for the Scheduled Caste, the National Commission for the Scheduled Tribes, the National Commission for Women, and the Chief Commissioner for Persons with Disabilities. These 7 commissions, the chairpersons of these 7 commissions will be the ex officio members of National Human Rights Commission. So, 7 plus 3, 10, 11, 12. 12 members will be there and one chairperson. Let's jump to into the next slide. And one more important thing is there shall be a Secretary General, one Secretary General who shall be the Chief Executive Officer. This is a very important question of examination, that who shall be the Chief Executive Officer, CEO of NHRC. So, the name of the person is Secretary General. So, don't you forget this, note down, and I hope you have understood it better. Come to the next point is appointment of chairperson and other members. So, section 4 of Protection of Human Rights Act 1993 provides appointment of chairpersons. This section says that chairpersons, members, they shall be appointed by President. So, the President of India is going to appoint, and after recommendations of the recommendation committee. Recommendation committee shall consist one chairperson and 5 members. Chairperson, the Prime Minister of India, 1 member is Speaker of the House of the People, 1 member Minister in charge of the Ministry of Home Affairs in the Government of India, central government, 1 member Leader of the Opposition in the Lok Sabha, and 1 member Leader of the Opposition in Council of States, and 1 member Deputy Chairperson of the Council of the States. So, 1 chairperson and 5 members shall consist in the committee which is known as Recommendation Committee. They recommend the name of the members and chairpersons of NHRC to the President, and they shall be appointed by the President of India. I hope you understood. Now, come to the next point, that is resignation and removal of chairperson and members. Before this, you must know that what shall be the tenure of the office of members and chairpersons. So, this is a very important question, that what shall be the term of the office. So, section 6 provides that what shall be the term of the office of chairperson and members. I hope this is here. So, first let me come to this section, and then we will jump to the section number 5. So, the earlier it was 5 years of term and 70 years of age. Don't you forget, in 2019 there is an amendment. Now, the term of office is for 3 years. Please correct it, and the age is same 70 years. Up to 70 years of age they will continue their office. The tenure, the term will be for 3 years and 70 years. As the section 6 of the particular act provides, a person appointed as chairperson shall hold office for a term of 3 years from the date on which he enters upon his office, or until he attains the age of 70 years, whichever is earlier. One more thing you should note, that the chairperson shall be eligible for reappointment. Section 6 subsection 2 says that a person appointed as a member shall hold office for a term for 3 years from the date on which he enters upon his office, and shall also he will be eligible for reappointment. So, 70 years and 3 years, I hope you have a rough idea about the tenure and term of the office. Now, section 5 talks about the resignation and removal of chairperson and members. So, don't you forget, chairperson and members both, by notice addressed to the President of India, they may resign their office. The chairperson and member shall be removed from his office by President, underline it, and on what ground? Misbehavior or incapacity, and only after the report submitted by the Supreme Court of India. The President may also remove them on some grounds. And what are the grounds? Number 1, if the person is declared insolvent. Section 5 provides the particular thing. This section says that if President thinks the chairperson and member, about the chairperson and member, that the person is adjudged insolvent. There is an Insolvency Act in India, and if under the particular act, if any court decides that the person is insolvent or has become insolvent, President may remove the person from the office. If he engages during his term of office in any paid employment outside the duties of his office. The third point says that if he is unfit to continue in office by reason of infirmity of mind or body. Next point says that if he is of unsound mind and stands so declared by a competent court. And the last point says that if he is convicted and sentenced to imprisonment for an offence which in the opinion of the President involves moral turpitude. These are the reasons the person may be removed from his office. Section 6, I have already explained you that what shall be the term of office of chairperson and member in 3 years and 70 years. You are well aware with this. So, my dear students, let's jump into the next slide, functions of the commission. What shall be the work and duties of the commission? So, the commission shall inquire into complaint of violation of human rights or abatement thereof. The commission may intervene in any proceeding with the approval of such court. The commission shall visit any jail or other institutions under the control of a state government and recommend certain things so that the human rights can be enjoyed by the people of the country. The commission shall review the safeguards provided by or under the Constitution or any law for the protection of human rights. The commission shall review the factors including acts of terrorism, naxalism, extremism that inhibit the enjoyment of human rights. The commission shall also study treaties and other international instruments on human rights. The commission shall undertake and promote research in the field of human rights and also spread human rights literacy among various sections of society and promote awareness of the safeguard available for the protection of these rights. The commission shall also encourage the efforts of NGOs and institutions working in the field of human rights. The commission shall perform such other functions as it may consider necessary for the protection of human rights. Now, you are well aware with the functions of the human rights, and we have left with two topics. The one is power of the commission, and the second one is the related topic, what shall be the power of the commission. First, let us talk about the powers of the commission. The commission shall have the powers of a civil court trying a suit, namely. So, first of all, you should know that the power of civil court is derived from CPC, Code of Civil Procedure 1908. This law is of 1908. From that particular law, the power is derived, the commission derives the power. Under this power, what he can do, he can summon and enforce the attendance of witness and examine them on oath. He can summon for discovery and production of any document or thing. he can receive evidence on affidavits, he can requisite any public record or copy thereof from any court or office, he can issue commission for the examination of witnesses or documents which cannot be called upon in the court of justice. He also can perform any other work and use his power which may be prescribed by the central government. The commission shall have power to require any person to furnish information useful for the subject matter of the inquiry. The commission or any other officer may enter any building where the commission has reason to believe that any document may be found and may seize any such document. The commission shall be deemed to be a civil court. As I told you, the power is derived from Civil Procedure Code or Code of Civil Procedure 1908. Every proceeding before the commission shall be deemed to be a judicial proceeding. You must note this. Commission may transfer any complaint filed or pending before it to the state commission. Every complaint transferred to be dealt with by the state commission as if it were a complaint initially filed before it. So, I have explained you in detail about the commission's function, work, constitution of the commission, appointment committee, each and everything. So, I am giving you a question. You must mark the answer in the comment section so that I may aware that you have understood the lecture completely and thoroughly. Who is the present chairperson of NHRC? Who is the present chairperson of National Human Rights Commission? Thanks a lot for listening to me carefully. Have a nice time. Take care. Bye-bye.